Okay, on to the second position. This goes something like this. Could almost say it's got two halves really. This first bit, we're playing against, playing the top two strings, the E string and the B string, both at the 8th fret. And I do that just by a little mini bar with that first finger there. As I'm doing that, I'm hammering on this third finger on the B string at the 10th fret, being very careful that that finger doesn't touch the top string, because I want to still hear that note ringing as I just alter that note. Sounds better than, yeah. So keep that finger nice and on its tip, that one just flat enough to hold those two down, and avoid touching that string. Not as easy as it looks. Then we repeat that 8 and 10 little two-note chord. Come down to the G string, fret 9, jump down to fret 7 on that G string, and bounce our second finger on and off fret 8, hammer on pull off, so that's little finger comes across, grabs the 10th fret on the D string, then we're back to the first finger on the G string at the 7th fret, back to the pinky on the 10th fret at the D string, and finishing on first finger back on the root note A at the 7th fret on the D string. In slow motion. So let's try some variations now. First off, varying the rhythmic emphasis. Instead of, we could go, or we could go, all kinds of different ideas you can throw in there. And let's try changing the tempo. We could try it really slow. We could try it real fast. Get different sound out of it each time. Vary the dynamics. Start soft. Go louder. Start loud, finish softly. Add a few notes. What could we add here? Maybe nick that note out of the third position. Whoa, I wouldn't add those notes. We could subtract a few notes, maybe just go, or maybe just starting here. Notice how these end up sounding like completely different licks. That's the whole point of it. Alright, we can link to adjacent positions. Wouldn't try that one. begin to hear we're developing different licks. Okay, so now it's time to use these licks against the backing track. Once again, by all means steal some of the ideas straight off me, but also mess around with them and develop some ideas of your own. Third position lick. What we do on this one, we start at fret 12 on the G string with our third finger, give that a good bend. Again, it's a unison bend, that means we're tuning this note to sound to that one. Straight across to the top string at the 10th fret, bounce the second finger on the 11th fret on the top string, down to the pinky at fret 13 on the B string, back to the first finger at fret 10 on the top string, back to fret 13 on the B string, fret 10 on the B string. And finish off pretty much with the same riff as we started with. Fret 12 on the G string bent to the same note as fret 10 on the B string. So all together in slow motion. So by now you'll have picked up on the general process of applying here all these, taking these licks and messing around with them and changing the rhythmic emphasis, the dynamics, adding notes, subtracting notes and all that sort of stuff. Spend a few minutes with that, perhaps if you like now, on that lick we've just looked at, and then join me in this demonstration against the backing track. Okay, now on to the fourth position lick. This one sounds like this. And here's the detail. Okay, so we're in the fourth position in A. Lined up there, the 12th fret and 15th fret. But we're going to grab this note with our third finger, so we're shifting our hand up slightly to use our stronger fingers. So this is fret 15 on the B string, And again, because we're going to bend this quite hard, I'm going to stick another finger behind it for support. Bend that right up a full tone bend. And then with my pinky I'm just grabbing the 15th fret on the top E string. Notice that while I'm doing that, I keep that bent up effectively to keep it out of the way, but also because my next note is to hit that again, that second string, pre-bent. That means it's already bent up there. We hit it at the top of the bend and unbend it. So that's our first part of the lick. And then we're pulling off to the first finger at fret 13 on the second string. Then we're coming down to the 14th fret on the G string with our second finger, back to fret 13 on the B string with the first finger, fret 15 on the B string. And that's the first half of the lick. In slow motion. And then the second part of the lick is actually identical except for the very last note, where it returns to fret 14 on the G string instead of fret 15 on the B string. So phrase 1 is leaving the phrase unresolved up in the air, and then the second phrase brings it back to the key note A, fret 14 there on the G string. That gives a sense of completion to the phrase. So the whole thing in slow-mo.